morning to you, Grenada, Carrier, Cupidi, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Good morning, Grenada, for today, Tuesday, the 29th day of August. 27 minutes on to 7. I just love this song, don't you? I urge you to look at the video on YouTube. Down to the ground. Even when I fall, he's there with me. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, reaching out to you and you and you and you. Saying good morning to the folks in the fishing capital, or the so-called fishing capital of the nation, Guave. I always believe that Grenville is a fishing capital. I think I see the most fish in Grenville. Yeah, but nonetheless, good morning to the folks on the western side of the island, Guave, Victoria, Duquesne. Good morning to my partner Roger on Duquesne, not in Duquesne, but in Davie. On that beach in Davie has that, barn, little refreshment spot on the beach in Davie. Good morning to you, bro. The folks in Mount Rodney, Mount Alexander, Mount Craven, good morning to you. How are you doing? Hope you're doing fine. Yeah. Again, good morning to River Sally and Latast. Adrian Spaceman Mitchell, good morning to you. My good brethren, Gogo, good morning. I had to come and take a dip in that sulfur spring one of these days, I have to find that time when I can do that. Hope you're doing fine, bro. Miss Yvette Toussaint, good morning to you. How are you? You're in Latas. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are the girls? Well, they must be big young ladies now. Yeah, good morning to you. Hope you're doing fine. I'm seeing something in the obituaries. If you've got a relative or so that has transitioned, my condolences go to you. Yep. I'm looking at the obituaries this morning, and I made a vow that it's a program that I will not be looking at, because when I look there, I'm seeing so many acquaintances. I'm just seeing this gentleman, 50 years old. And just saw his picture there, and I was just telling my colleague Timon that this guy and I, a group of us on Saturday mornings in a different previous dispensation, on Saturday mornings on my way up from GBN, I would stop off just opposite De La Grenade Industries in that little bar there. Would stop and old talk and have a few drinks together. And now I'm seeing him on television, and he's not talking to me. That's scary. It means that we ought to prepare. We do not know the day, the time, the hour. Yeah, death is coming like a thief in the night. So we've got to preparate ourselves, Blossom? Good morning to you, Blossom, Alexis, and family. Good morning. I want to say a very special good morning to the folks at NADMA as well. Yeah, Dr. Terence Walters, Mr. Arthur Pierre, and the rest of the team. My good brethren, Sean, Gabo, how you doing, bro? Hope you're doing fine. I want to say good morning to you, my good friend, Mr. Benedict Peters. How are you doing, bro? Hope you're doing fine as well. My good friend, Sylvan McIntyre. What's up, Papi? I was intent on greeting you yesterday, but you came in and went into the program, and I was in another department, and by the time I caught myself, you were already on air, so we did not. But good morning to you and the family, man. Yeah, so good morning. Huh? Somebody called on a program last night and throwing word for me, Did you hear it? The lady, and she always tell me don't call her name, but she telling me what? I own GBN, first thing in the morning, last thing in the night. I love my job. And if I'm called upon to represent, I will do so boldly. Yeah. Good morning to all those of you who participated in the program last night. I want to say good morning to Dexter Mitchell. Good morning to Davis Adams. And also our good Olympian, Hazelin Regis Buckles. Last night we looked at Grenada's performance in the just concluded World Athletics Championship in Budapest in Hungary. And quite a very interesting conversation last night as to the development of our sports in Grenada, getting that sports policy and putting things in place to really celebrate our athletes, because they are the ones who are selling Grenada. People are coming to Grenada, visiting Grenada, because they want to know where Lyndon Victor is from, where Kirani is from, where Hazelland is from, where Randall is from, and all our athletes. So I think a lot more emphasis and consideration should be given to our athletes. That was the gist and the essence of our conversation last night. We also looked at what can be done in terms of scouting and preparing our athletes to, for continuance. When Kirani goes off and Rondell goes off and Lyndon goes off and Haley goes off and so forth, who are going to replace them? I know that we are not bankrupt, we are not in a desert as it relates to abilities, all right, but what is important is identifying them early and harnessing them, training them, pointing them into the direction so that they can take up the regional and international stages in the not too distant future. So yeah, the move is on. Once again, those of you who were part of the program last night, thank you very much. It's 21 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock, and this morning we've got guests. We will be having representatives from Ariza Credit Union. Yep, I think it's Ariza. Yes, I do think I have it correct. So that's where most of the conversation will be this morning. But I do presume that we will have a little time on our hands that we can have an open discussion on something topical. But in the interim, let's get to the program of the day, the word of the day, and also the thought of the day. Good morning to you, Nadisha and Kitty Cat and family out there. Good morning to you. Now, the word of the day today, it is a noun. It is the word oxymoron. Oxymoron, O-X-Y-M-O-R-O-N. And an oxymoron is a combination of words that have opposite or different meanings, such as cruel kindness or open secret. Yeah. In broader usage, oxymoron can also refer to something such as a concept that is made up of contradictory or incongruous elements. I like this. Can you identify some oxymorons? Yeah, good, nice. Good morning to you, Matthias Williams. Good morning to you. How are you doing, bro? Hope all is well. All right, here's how we can use the word oxymoron. We can say, her favorite Shakespeare play, Romeo and Juliet, is filled with clever wordplay, including oxymorons such as sweet sorrow and heavy lightness. I like this. Yeah. Our favorite Shakespeare play, Romeo and Juliet, is filled with a clever wordplay, including oxymorons such as sweet sorrow and heavy lightness. Good morning to you, Shondell and Sherian out there in Cheryl. Yes, Cheryl, not Sherian. Cheryl out there in Carriacou, Belle to be precise. Good morning to you. Gailey, good morning to you. Tumble, Rumble, what was the cat name again? Snowy and girl. Good morning to you. Gailey, you alright? I saw Jonah the other day on his motor scooter. I said, look at that big man on that little bike. Oh my goodness. The thought of the day. The razor blade is sharp but can't cut a tree. The axe is strong but can't cut hair. Everyone is important according to his or her own unique purpose. Never look down on anyone unless you are admiring their shoes. I love this one. Nadisha, I know you love it too. All right, I'll reiterate it. I'll repeat it. It says, the razor blade is sharp, but can't cut a tree. The axe is strong, but can't cut the hair. Everyone is important according to his or her own unique purpose. Never look down on anyone unless you are admiring their shoes. I like this one. I really, really do like this one. Trust me. It's nice. Good. So, what's buzzing this morning? What's buzzing? Okay, homage still goes out to Lyndon Victor. Good morning to you, your family. You are all our celebrants for the week, all right? Hadn't I been financially embarrassed, I would have taken you all to one of the top hotels and, just treat you all for the day. Especially the dad for producing such strong genes. He said his performance had nothing to do with the jersey or the t-shirt. It had to do with the genes. Such a good pun on words, right? He said it's the genes. Brother Finn, good morning to you and the family, man. Yeah, Lyndon copping 8,756 points. Yeah, the second, he was the second runner-up. The first runner-up was Damian Warner, scoring 8,804 points, and Pierce LePage placing first in the decathlon, scoring a total of 8,909. And Dexter alluded something last night that, when I spoke of what can we do to become more recognizable on the world stage in terms of our performance in athletics, and even in comparison to our regional partners, Jamaica and Cuba and so forth. And when Dexter broke it down in a per capita ratio, Grenada is doing well. Could you imagine looking at our little space, just about 110,000 people, in comparison to, let's say, Germany with 8 point something million? That big catch of athletes to choose from, and Germany did not medal in the games. All right, Brazil did not. I think Brazil got one medal. Grenada got one, and not just one, but the one that we got, it was recognized. Again, I like piggybacking on Donald Trump's favorite word. It was recognized bigly. So, folks, we ought to be proud, and I suggested, I made that recommendation that we should start celebrating our athletes and our outstanding personalities more. Maybe we can start naming streets and villages after them, setting up monuments and, billboards and so forth. That, in my opinion, can be used as a methodology to transform people's attitude and way of thinking and behavior. If we know that if we behave bad in a particular, let's say Corinth, for example, all right, if we were to put up a billboard of Sean Niles or a serpent, two-time Calypso, national Calypso, one-time Calypso monarch, but a couple times Independence Calypso monarch, we set up a billboard and start talking about the good things about him. All right, maybe people in that community might say, if we do something out of the way, if we deviate from the norms, we'll be giving the village and Sour Serpent a bad image, and we wouldn't want that. So maybe that's where the best village could come in. We start competing who has the best mentors and so forth. That's just a thought. Folks, we've got to take that break. We've got the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather coming up, and that's on Classic. Those of you on the television platform, we've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. Stick and stay with us. We're with you anywhere and everywhere.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well-deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
The T.A. Mary Shower Community College is registering an increase in the number of applicants this year and attributes this to government's recently introduced free education policy. Chrislina John has this report.
With the knowledge of the newly issued results from the Caribbean Examination Council, the CXC, scores of students turned out on day one of the 2-week registration period at the T.A. Marisho Community College. The students have the opportunity to capitalize on government's free education policy, which has been extended to the T.A. Marisho Community College, TAMCC, and the New Life Organization, NULO. Under the new policy, students of these tertiary institutions are exempted from tuition fees. Marva Bowen Neptune is the registrar at the TAMCC.
The government of Grenada has removed all tuition, so they pay $150 for the administrative fee. So that includes the IDs and things like examination and that sort of thing. They pay for that, a registration fee and stuff like that. So they pay $150, and then they have to pay for their t-shirts. That's $50 for their t-shirts. So we want all students to have a t-shirt, and that costs $50. For now, the college bear the brunt of the cost for all materials. I don't know if that would change, but we have not asked students to pay for anything except the $150. So the tuition that the student paid before, we use that to supply the materials, and that has not changed. I don't know if it will change in the future, but as we speak, that has not changed.
For students pursuing other programs, Neptune explained the process.
It'll be a little bit complicated. So you have the School of Continuing Education, where the students do part-time program and full-time program. The full-time program, the student, that's free, based on what the government advised. For the part-time program, they would get a voucher of $810, but there is a difference there. So we're still working out what's going to happen with the difference, but for now, the students get a voucher of $810 for the part-time associate degree program.
School begins in earnest during the second week of September. This year, the registrar said they are seeing a notable increase in the number of applicants.
We have registration up until 2 weeks into the semester. Classes commence on September 5th for all students in all schools, and that's for both year 1 and year 2. We have in upwards of 1,000 applications into various programs, and this year we have seen an increase in the number of applications. We predict that it's because of the free tuition, and it's of course it's a lot more affordable.
Chrislina John, GBN News.
CXC detects exam irregularities and expressed concern over the usage of cell phones and smartwatches. Here's another report from Chrislina John.
The Caribbean Examination Council, the CXC, has identified several irregularities during the 2023 exams. Notably, the use of cell phones and smartwatches has emerged as a major concern. Dr. Nicole Manning, Director of Operations at the Council, revealed this during a press conference held to announce the official release of the 2023 CXC exam results. Dr. Manning said a total of 19 irregularities were detected in the CSEC exam, while the CAPE exams registered 17 irregularities. According to Dr. Manning, 5 students sitting the CSEC exams were caught with cellular phones, 5 plagiarized content, 4 displayed disruptive behavior, 3 utilized unauthorized materials, and there was 1 case of territorial malpractice. Meanwhile, in the CAPE exams, 4 students had their cellular phones, 8 were caught cheating, 4 had unauthorized material, and 1 person even tried to impersonate another. Manning said though the numbers are small, there is still a cause for concern.
The irregularities for 2023, we saw a slight reduction by 1 on the overall reduction, but I want to draw attention to CAPE because we had an increase from 2 to 17 last year, and I'll speak a little bit more about irregularities. If you notice, the numbers are lower for CAPE than CSEC. It speaks a little bit more about the maturity of the candidates that we are engaging at CAPE. So it is something that it's important for us to look at.
Manning expressed concern about the use of cellular phones by candidates during exams.
Something we would not want to see again this year, cell phones. The use of cellular phones still our biggest issues. Candidates this year took cellular phones, used cellular phones in the exam, not only to have it in their bags, but literally on their persons and utilizing it. We have also seen the introduction of the smartwatches, and so that is another cause for concern, but the council is doing a full review of its regulation to ensure that all of these devices are also noted. But
the CXC director also disclosed that all irregularities carry a penalty. The CXC expressed commitment in addressing these concerns to ensure a level playing field for all candidates sitting the exams.
Of course, that 8 for cheating that we're seeing there as an irregularity is also a cause for concern. And let me just say, when an irregularity happens, the candidate's results are cancelled. If it is that the candidate repeatedly carry out the behavior, they can lose everything. That's a big issue for CXC.
Christina John, GBN News.
Still with education, government's free education policy takes full effect within days when new and returning students enter the classrooms. The new policy was extended to the T.A. Marisho Community College and the New Life organization. However, a former minister says that's not enough.
The no school fee policy, which was introduced in September of 2022 and applied to the pre-primary, primary, and secondary schools, has now been expanded to include the T.A. Marisho Community College, TAMCC, and the New Life organization, NULO.
We are delighted as a Ministry of Education and as a government to say to you that we are facilitating your advancement in education with the removal of tuition fees as you go on to access education at TAMCC and further on.
The government said its free tuition program policy will complement other key education initiatives, such as the approval of the UNESCO-funded technical and vocational education and training policy. However, former Education Minister Eminent Pear said the attempt being made by government is insufficient to enable all students to attend classes, particularly those from vulnerable homes.
If that person is going to do a plumbing course at NULO, admission fee $265. 1 year tuition fee for skills $750. CVQ fees $450. Tools $650. Mr. Speaker, when you add this up, the government would be paying $810. The trainee would be paying $1,300. $305.
During Friday's sitting of the lower house, Mrs. Pierre expressed her concern while suggesting how government could address those said concerns.
I am free to say this morning, Mr. Speaker, I'm comfortable saying, let's take $2 million from the $7 million for independence and put it towards this program so that it will not just cover tuition, but it would cover full costs for those persons who will be denied an opportunity to go if they don't have the rest of the funds.
The first phase of the expanded free tuition program will apply to the 2022 secondary school graduates and TAMCC students who are presently completing their second year. Youth Minister Ron Redhead said the policy will assist with the issue of unemployment amongst the nation's youth.
We are taking monies and addressing the access to education through the free tuition at TAMCC and also NULO. If we do, in fact, have an unemployment issue, this is a direct spending by government that is going to help to bolster a young person's ability to get a job.
Cherry Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
The Meteorological Service at the Morris Bishop International Airport, in a statement issued today, confirmed a continued heat wave for Grenada as models continue to indicate relatively high temperatures and low rainfall. Details in this Rena Per-Thomas report.
Light winds, relatively high temperatures and low rainfall dominates the forecast for Grenada as today marks day 6 of an ongoing heat wave. Andre Charles, forecaster at the Meteorological Office, says the temperature has not been steady but remains high.
Yes, temperature continues to fluctuate. It is not on a constant upward trend. It fluctuates. We've had a high of 32.8. But it ranges between anything above 31.7 to as high as 32.8. Today is marked the 6th day since we have been experiencing temperatures at 31.7 and above. And this is a clear indication that the heat wave that we started last Thursday has continued for the weekend and continues today.
Charles encourages the population to stay hydrated as there is no indication when the heat wave will subside.
We just ask the public to take all precautionary measures to keep themselves cool, hydrated, and wear appropriate clothing that can help them in that light. And if any consumption of alcohol, person should reduce or refrain at all from consumption of alcohol, because this would help in you becoming dehydrated. So take all precautionary measures. To say how long it will continue, we cannot indicate at the moment, but conditions can improve. But that's something that the forecast and data at the moment is not available to provide that forecast.
For GBN News, I am Rena Per-Thomas reporting.
And so it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
My name is Alimaka Motley. I've been here doing nails since 2017. Me being self-employed, I have realized that paying the NIS benefits me now and even when I retire. By the time I'm 65, I will be receiving contributions back from NIS. So I benefit because I'm self-employed. Anything can happen. If anything happens to you while you're at work, you've got a bad cold, you have the COVID, you have dengue, we have all these diseases that's plaguing us at the moment. NIS will be giving you back some form of money when you're ill. So I would encourage all small business persons to sign up with NIS now.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell has recently renewed his call for the United Kingdom to issue an official apology for its role in the transatlantic slave trade. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell's request, made during an exclusive interview with British media entity The Independent, comes as part of ongoing efforts to address the historical injustices suffered by the people of Grenada and the wider Caribbean region.
My mind, the UK wants to continue being a country that demonstrates that it upholds the values of justice, fairness, democracy, equal treatment of human beings. Then, to me, it should be out front and apologizing for slavery. And reluctance or refusal to do so then sends the opposite message.
Prime Minister Mitchell's call for an apology is not unprecedented. In recent years, several Caribbean nations have similarly called on European countries, including the UK, to acknowledge the atrocities committed during the era of slavery and to take steps towards reparations and reconciliation. The Prime Minister argues that an official apology from the United Kingdom would serve as a crucial step towards healing the wounds of the past and fostering a more inclusive and equitable future.
I think the fact that Rishi Sunak is the Prime Minister of the UK speaks for itself. It tells you how the history of the United Kingdom and perhaps its future is so intertwined to its past in terms of its colonial history, the plurality of British society. All of that comes from the fact that it once colonized India, parts of the Caribbean. We have these cultural wars which are taking place. We have these attempts to sometimes rewrite history if it's not pleasant or if it makes us feel uncomfortable. And we have to remind people. And that's why I say there's a danger in not accepting. And we deserve, frankly, the same rights as everybody else who's been subjugated or treated badly by another group.
The issue of reparations for the descendants of enslaved Africans has been a contentious one, with many arguing that financial compensation is necessary to address the enduring socio-economic disparities faced by marginalized communities. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell weighed in on the subject.
Reparations is basically having the world accept that slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, the plantation economies that were based on slavery was wrong, and that we need to ensure that that is acknowledged and that corrective measures is taken to treat with all of these significant negative legacies that has arisen as a result of that. I think fundamentally we have to be able to accept that slavery was a crime against humanity. It was a criminal act. We need to have justice for that. And justice takes a number of forms. Material redevelopment of the Caribbean, of Africa, is just part and parcel of that.
It remains to be seen how the United Kingdom will respond to the Prime Minister's request. Slavery had a profound impact on the lives of millions of Africans who were forcibly transported to the Americas. The United Kingdom played a significant role in this dark chapter with its involvement in the buying, selling, and enslavement of African people. Reporting for GBN News. A supplementary budget of over $143 million has been approved in the lower house of Parliament, despite the opposition pointing to many reasons they don't support the bill. Rena Thomas reports.
The supplementary budget of $143,980,234, which was debated and approved in the lower house on Friday, will service the state of Grenada for the fiscal year of January 1st to the 31st of December 2023. Several ministries will benefit from the budget, which will cover loans, projects, and programs that were not catered for in the 2023 budget, which was presented last December. The supplementary appropriation bill was presented by Minister for Finance, Dennis Cromwell, who stated that $133,430,832 is for capital expenditure, while $15,559,402 is for recurrent expenditure.
The Speaker also wished to summarize what pertains in the supplementary bill for 2023. It includes a provision for $15,559,402 in recurrent expenditure and a total of $133,430,823, with a total of 148 is a provision of recurrent expenditure for $7,559,402. $151 and a capital expenditure of $60,500,000, a total of $67,531,151.
Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell had this to say in voicing support for the bill.
Speaker, we start with the office of the Prime Minister. The recurrent sum sought there is a sum of $250,000, and the capital sum sought is a sum of $7,500,000. Speaker, we start with the office of the Prime Minister. The recurrent sum sought there is a sum of $250,000, and the capital sum sought is a sum of $7,500,000.
Opposition members in the lower house of Parliament did not support government's supplementary budget. Dr. Mitchell, a former Minister of Finance, told the Parliament that while the additional allocation requested in some areas is understandable, he has not seen nor was provided with sufficient explanation that will provide sufficient justification for the additional money.
Asking the taxpayers to commit to $100 million of further debt of the country. This is what we've been asked to do here. We do not know the terms of the loan and conditions. So we are blind here today. And I see the size of the debt to GDP ratio, and you know what debt to GDP ratio, I don't have to tell members, that's easy to find out. So clearly, there's no way I can be associated with this level of acceptance of further loan and debt to the country.
Despite the objections from the opposition members, the government, which currently has 10 members on its seat, approved the motion and the bill. The next step will be approval from the members of the upper house, which is scheduled to meet on Tuesday, the 29th of August. For GBN News, I'm Rena Pitt-Thomas reporting.
A sum of $7.5 million has been allocated in the supplementary appropriation budget approved in the lower house of Parliament last Friday to finance activities for the highly anticipated 50th anniversary of independence. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell says plans are underway to roll out several commemorative events starting this September.
We intend to have a legacy project, Mr. Speaker, that speaks towards ensuring that the future of Grenada, particularly when it comes to issues such as education, the teaching of Grenadian history, the observation and celebration of national heroes.
Pointing to the significant allocation, the Prime Minister explained that some of the activities under consideration will require significant preparatory expenditure.
Some of the events obviously would require significant preparatory expenditure. I did mention at the committee stage, for instance, the fact that the commemorative $50 note is estimated to cost about $2 million, and that funding needs to be paid now so that the minters can proceed with completing the design and the preparation of the note. Mr. Speaker, we intend to recover the costs associated with the note, because obviously the note will become part of the currency, but obviously we would expect that Grenadians and Grenadians in the diaspora will buy it as memorabilia, and so we expect to recover the funding associated with this.
The Prime Minister said the government is also looking at the possibility of raising a 50th anniversary bond as a means of getting financing to address some of the major projects going forward. The supplementary appropriation bill was approved with strong opposition from members on the opposition side who were not satisfied with the information outlined in the explanatory notes for the allocation. Member of Parliament for St. George Northeast, Ron Redhead, added his voice to the debate on the motion for the supplementary appropriation budget, which will be debated in the upper house of Parliament on Tuesday.
Honourable members, Mr. Speaker, through you on the other side, is indicating that they have a problem with the amount of money. And two members, we heard it this morning, also say that why would you spend all that money now? Subtract the $2 million or $2.5 million or so that is spent for the note, $50 commemorative note. But what's about the $5.5 million? Why are you spending all that money now and unemployment high and people losing work and all these other things? Mr. Speaker, these claims are unsubstantiated. substantiated. It is not factual, and I guarantee you that even after we leave here, none of the members on the opposition side can go out and prove this officially.
Hello, ECS.
Yo, OECS, this is your ocean. If I am to protect your future, we have to work together. It's the time to work together. If I am to help protect your future. Once I used to be so pure and clean, and those hills were so fresh and green. But now you see me as your dumping ground. Current situations has me choking on your pollution. Think hard about it. You will agree that really there is no you without me. Make the zero waste pledge, be responsible. Reduce your waste, recycle where possible. It's down to you, so make the commitment. Recycle for blue oceans and our betterment. Recycle OECS. Green actions, blue oceans. For blue oceans and our betterment.
Attention all students, parents, and tech-savvy scholars. Make this back-to-school season unforgettable with the Computer Store Grenada's unbeatable back-to-school promotion bundle. Get ready for the HP Victus gaming laptop, powered by the lightning-fast Intel Core i5 processor. Crush your assignments and projects like a pro with 8 gigabytes of memory and experience immersive gaming with the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1650 graphics. The sleek laptop also comes with a lightning-quick 512-gigabyte SSD drive, ensuring you never miss a beat during your digital adventures. But that's not all. Introducing the ultimate companion for all your printing needs, the HP Inktank printer. Enjoy hassle-free printing with HP Inktank technology, allowing you to print thousands of pages before even thinking about a refill.
The Ministry of Tourism and Economic Development and the Grenada Tourism Authority extend a warm welcome to visitors and returning nationals visiting for Carnival and summer vacation. We do hope you enjoy your stay with us, and we invite you to return with friends and family to celebrate our 50th anniversary of independence on 7th February 2024. Tourism is my business, your business, our business.
All right, welcome viewers and listeners. It's 15 minutes after 7 o'clock this morning. It's time for the conversation, and I'm expecting, I've got it scheduled that we should be having representatives from Nexa Credit Union this morning, and they are neither in the studio nor on our Zoom platform, so I do not know if they'll, fall in a while, a little later, but what I propose that we do in the interim, I wish there is someone with a health background. I would like for us to be very, very, very attentive to that situation that we are faced with, the heat wave. We're accustomed to being hot. All right, that's our climate. We're either sunny or rainy. But if you're observant enough, you'd realize the last couple of days have been rather hot. All right, I live in a wall house, and it's close to the river, so the breeze comes in ever so often. But in recent times, even during the day, I had to be switching on my AC because I was sweating profusely. I don't know if you recognize that, if it affected you in that way, but I do know that excessive heat can have very adverse effects on the human. I wish someone from within the health fraternity, I'm just being impromptu here, trying to, mitigate against the fact that my guest isn't here as yet and have a meaningful discussion. So I wish someone from a medical background can call in and share some light on this. I tried reaching back to the Met Office, but unfortunately I presume that they are engaged in preparation for other media houses with the weather forecast. So I wish someone could have, could call and just enlighten us a bit onto the dangers of this heat and what we can do to mitigate around it. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. I don't know about the heat wave. You will get the weatherman telling you about the heat, but they're talking about Friday gone.
What happened Friday gone?
Do you watch Parliament?
No, I did not get the chance to.
You didn't watch the news? You're in GBN, you know?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Yes, go right ahead. Make your contribution.
I watch the Parliament, and let we be fair in Parliament. If the Speaker of the House is not doing the right thing, too many bias, at least some people calling the radio station and saying the Speaker of the House do well. The Speaker of the House don't do well because he took bias. They believe in the Speaker of the House now come in, but for the time he did, he's supposed to know what he have to do. Innocent, he's supposed to know what he have to do. You don't go in behalf of who put you there, in the behalf of everyone. Let everybody voices be heard.
Okay.
If the Prime Minister talk and opposition ready to talk, every time the Prime Minister, the opposition says something, the Prime Minister put on the light and the Speaker of the House put in the leader of the opposition sit down. Let the Prime Minister talk. That is biasness. Or the leader of the opposition sit down. The leader of the opposition sit down. How are you watching that? That is biasness. I watch it in the starting and I watch it in the ending. Dr. Michael must have to go out. After he finished talk, he go. Because I see he go, I see Peter go. They can't say you walking on the house and don't debate. You don't have to talk what you're saying there. You have to watch what you see. Not you walking out. If you didn't have to go, you not go. Okay. You have to go, so you got to go. So too many biasness inside the house. The house is a church, and we have to deal with it as a church. Have a blessed month.
You too, my dear. Have a good one yourself. Unfortunately, I did not get around to looking at it live. Neither have I seen any excerpts from it. So I am unable to speak purposefully on that. So justify your statement. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, listen, morning to listeners and morning to viewers. I happen to experience the Parliament on Friday. I have a different view, nonetheless. But let me address a little the question you raised on the heat. As somebody who's been speaking about heat in the last 2 years, the effect. In fact, my organization had a webinar on heat, climate, and something else, and food last November. And it is, when we're thinking about the heat, it's not just about the human being, but also agriculture, the animals, and so on. It is a serious situation. One thing, at the beginning, I want to thank the meteorological unit or department and NADMA for making an effort to share information on the status of the heat in the heat situation. I have been a beneficiary to that, so I've been able to help people to spread the news. So I want to thank them for that. But we need more conversation because people don't really understand. They think this is just an incidental. About a month ago, the Caribbean Meteorological Institute out of Barbados did give a focus that I think maybe even the Barbados government have given that thing coming out, on the basis of information from the Caribbean Meteorological Institute, that even up to October, you could expect that kind of heat situation. One thing I want to let people know is that the heat we're experiencing is different from the heat we normally experience, in the past. I was in a course last year staged by Columbia University out of New York, and an organization out of Trinidad led by Dr. James Hospitalis. And one of the first lecturers from she's originally from Suriname and lectured at Georgia's University, said that this heat is affecting every organ in the body, not just one or two. So that is what makes it dangerous. Every organ in the body is being affected.
Okay.
So one has to be extremely careful or mindful and ensure that the clothes you wear doesn't add to the heat. Like, it's important that people use cotton more than anything right now, and light clothes. I'm not saying walk naked, but light clothes, cotton particularly. And drink a lot of water. Stay away from the sun as much as possible. Although people have been staying away from the sun for the longest while, for I don't know for what reason. Be afraid of the sun, and the sun is good for us. But now, it would be good that people don't spend too much time in the sun. They've given in the States and so on, they're also giving direction to companies to protect the workers. We need to do that here in Grenada too, in terms of people who work outside. I am concerned about schools, because about a year ago or so, I heard the president of the Teachers Union were talking about a particular school in St. Andrews that because of, I think, where they were housed, the heat was terrible, and the heat will be even more intense now. So I hope that we will take that into consideration and not, we can tell people start falling in large number.
Okay.
I think, Innocent, get in touch with Dr. Lindona Glasgow, or I think her surname might be changed now. Not too sure her status, her name status, but Dr. Lindona of St. George's University. She has some unique knowledge on that because she did some study for PAHO a couple of years ago, and we're already seeing trends in people being affected by the heat. The late Dr. Hugh Silly also addressed that on a webinar I was on before he died. The heat is already on, and it's more intense now. So that's one of the reasons I want to insist that we really take a crisis approach to the situation here and stop cutting down the trees. Cut down on our use of aerosols and burning. We need to really become a more responsible nation.
Thank you, caller.
Very much. I'm not to continue,
Thank you. Thank you very much. 435-2041, that's the number to call. It's 25 minutes after 7 o'clock. I really, as I said, I will endeavor to get some more professional feedback on this, but my going that direction this morning was just a means of improvisation. All right, so good morning, caller.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome to the program.
Okay, I'm calling on behalf of the credit union.
Which credit union?
The Communal Cooperative Credit Union.
Yes.
And that goes specifically to the manager. These people and them say they provide a service in the parish of St. David, Pedmota to be exact. They say that they open 2 days a week. When you go there, they close. I want the manager to know that the Communal Cooperative Credit Union belongs to the people. It don't belong to him, and if you're providing a service, provide a service. The credit union is ours, not his. We employ him. If it's one day service you could provide the service. You have people lining up there, glass stores there, lining up there. You have 5, 6, 10 people lining up there to do the service, and when they go, nothing. Security come in, nothing. Tell this man the Communal Credit Union belong to the people and not him.
And how long has that been happening?
Well, it's a long time. It's a long time that been happening. I personally went and speak to the man. He give me a kind of nice little lie there, and then he never changed. He said they open in 2 days. They don't open. Every time you go, there's a problem. Tell them and stop doing this in the credit union. It's we own.
Okay. All right.
You got people have to come out from St. David, out from Malmont to go all the way in town. What are the people out don't have money to pay the transportation and they want to work compared to go to the credit union? Tell them and stop doing nothing and you go take the thing from him, you know.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller. Have a good one. Thank you very much. It's 27 minutes after 7 o'clock. 435-2041, that's the number to call. It's apparent that we're sort of having an open sepulchre this morning. My real intent was, well, at least program-wise, we were scheduled to have representatives from Ariza Credit Union. Now, I'm not seeing them here as yet, but nonetheless, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, boss. How are you doing?
I am good. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, Mr. Vincent, I listen to the this thing, this whatever with the Prime Minister and the Mr. Keto. I found out that people come along on the Speaker House, Mr. Keto. I want Grenada to remember when the former Prime Minister was what? He told Mr. Nazimok, shut up, sit down. You know? I'll repeat again. The former Prime Minister tell Mr. Nazimok, shut up and sit down. Okay. And the next point now, Mr. Innocent, we still is on the Lent season.
The Lent season?
Yeah.
No.
The Lent after Carnival.
No, Lent is that's for the celebrations in February.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not after every carnival we have Lent. It's in February, heading up to Easter.
But what I'm saying, as the question that I will say that now. No, I follow up like the Romans, like the Catholic, and I listen to pastors who was on some program talking about the Catholics and the calendars and the carnival is marked on the calendar. But what I'm saying now, at this time, why alcohol have to sell in shops for let the food only sell? Because when we have a general election here, no alcohol is allowed to sell until after 6, until everything goes to the police station or whoever to read out the election thing. You know what I mean?
That's on election day.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So why the alcohol don't sell till after 6? When everything is fixed up to take it to the polls or wherever that they already know the ballots.
Do you know why? Do you know why that happens on election day? That you're not allowed to sell alcoholic beverages up to 12 midnight. Do you know why?
Because the violence.
Not necessarily. It's to make sure that people make an informed decision when they are going to vote, so that they're not, drunk or under the influence, so that they might make a wrong choice and ultimately have the wrong team inside of our leadership position. That's one of the main reasons. Violence, that too can be brought in. But do you think it's a wise decision to stop sell alcohol in the shops completely? You'd like to see that? You'd really like to see that?
Especially on a Sunday.
Okay.
I know sometimes I drink something, but not enough. I keep my limit on Sunday because I know long time, like from whatever time to whatever time, they close up because I know Mr. Ronem had the shop was on Bamboo Bridge. And certain times, like from 8 o'clock to what times, you cannot get nothing from that shop to buy, not even nothing. So they had the limit time and the time which they had also close up the shops. But now, the shops and them is open, go up to whatever time. If you want to close a shop like on midday time, they close a shop, and according to what that, if you go and call, and according to what you go and get, what you go and buy, maybe it is allowed to sell for you.
Well, Cultiaman, the truth about it, there are laws governing that, but I think the problem here is the usual thing, the enforcement of the laws, because there are laws governing the opening times for shops and bars and what we call the rum shops and so forth. There are stipulated times that they are permitted to open and times that they are designated to close, but very often with our culture, the laws are not, seriously enforced. But the laws are there, all right?
Yeah, I know, but still, because since the carnival, I think what after carnival, that's hard also ask a question and speak about that,
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Give God thanks for this rain we get a while ago there,
Okay.
So every food that to go and the animals, everybody need water to drink, everybody need water to wash and
Yes.
So you have a blessed morning, and I hope nobody don't call and bash me, and you keep your program as you keeping it.
Irie culture, man. Irie.
Yeah, one love.
I dictate on it. My brethren culture. Man, folks, it's 28 minutes on to 8 o'clock. I've just been informed that our guests are here. So what we are going to do, I'm going to take a commercial break and bring the representatives from Arise Credit Union onto the set on the resumption of that break.
Ready for the ultimate football showdown as Grenada takes on Suriname in the much-anticipated CONCACAF Nations League. Join the excitement on Friday, September 8th at the Karani James Athletics Stadium. Secure your pavilion seats at just $30 or secondary stands for $20. School students, grab your seats in the secondary stand for $10. And remember, kids under 12 are absolutely free. Tickets available from Chucky's Bar, Grenadian Optical, Heather's Boutique, Shy's Bar, Victoria, Kelly's Hotspot, Guav, Calico Shopping Center, Sates, and GoToVet.com. Come see Grenada battle. Be there to witness history. Friday, September 8th at 7 p.m. Kirani James Athletics Stadium. Be part of the action. Be part of the pride.
Hi, good day. My name is Kyle Sylvester. I am the manager and founder of Case Farming Enterprise. We're an agro-processing business that are involved in the processing of agricultural goods, where we do bottle seasoning packs, lettuce, kale, and broccoli. Sometimes we as human beings get sick or injured on the job. NS provides a safety net for us. I am here to encourage other entrepreneurs and self-employed persons to sign up under the NIS Self-Employment Program.
The Grenada Dental Association, with support from the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, Great Shape Inc., Spice Isle Smiles Foundation, and Sandals Foundation, present Seal Grenada, sealing children's permanent teeth between the ages of 6 to 18, from August the 28th to September the 1st, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily at the current government school in St. David. For more information, call 421-6021. Seal today. Prevent decay tomorrow.
Get ready to catch all the action. The CPL returns August 16th to September 24th. Be watching.
Grenada's broadcast of Republic Bank CPL 2023 is made possible by Republic Bank. We're the one for you. The National Lotteries Authority, Grenlec, and Hard On Plus.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. This is the conversation here this morning, and as I stated to you earlier, I was expecting guests. There was a misunderstanding with the time slot, but of course, we remedied the situation. My good friend, Miss Josephine Walters, is here with me. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, my dear.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
When we're not seeing, but when we're seeing regularly. I only saw you yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday I got my hug, and I got you this morning again. You know, I feel huggish.
Well, that's all right. That's quite all right. You know, the word tells us, greet the brethren with a holy kiss. So what wrong with that?
Oh my goodness. I love the word. I love the word.
That's quite okay.
How are you doing, Jules?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah. How's Ariza?
Ariza is excellent. Ariza is wonderful.
Yeah, I could see that. Folks, in case you do not know, Josephine is the marketing officer at Ariza Credit Union, and today she's here to talk primarily of that new service that they're initiating, Pop-Up.
Pop-Up.
What is Pop-Up about?
All right, so I'll backtrack a little. It's not really a new service, but I'll tell you why it's really happening, what brought this on, why it's initiated. Because we listened to our members, and they've been asking for a long time for a branch in Grand Anse. So, soon we're going to be in Grand Anse. So you know where Pizza Hut was, right next to KFC. If you drive by, if you walk by, whatever, you're going to see the signs.
So there's no longer Pizza Hut there?
Oh, no.
Okay, it's a Riser Hut now. Right. It's going to be a Riser Hut soon.
Yes, it's going to be a Riser Hut. You behave yourself. Good. It's going to be a Riser Hut.
Yeah, okay.
So you'll see the coming soon sign. You see the readiness going on, the preparation. It's going to be a full-blown branch, of course, like the one in Carriacou, like the one in Grenville. And some of the reasons were, listen to your members, it's important, because they said they want ease of doing business. So, you know, town can be a little congested. That's our next financial hub, commercial hub, Grand Anse. So why not? And you would hear people saying, I will do business with you. I want to do business with you, but I just want you to be in Grand Anse because I don't go to town.
Yeah. Town could be a headache.
It could be,
yeah.
It could be. For those of us who are there and have to be there sometimes, it could be a bit of a headache. So just to say that in preparation for the move, we decided we're going to do some pop-up shops, meaning we'll pop up anywhere
in Grand Anse,
in the Grand Anse area. Now, we may not limit it to that, because obviously we have branches elsewhere, and we're Ariza. We're your Grenadian company, your best Grenadian financial institution. Why shouldn't we pop up wherever we feel like popping up?
Nothing like
when we feel like popping up.
Yeah.
And the truth is, people are very busy, and sometimes it's hard for them to come in, wait in line, or whatever it might be. So if we advertise this and we let you know that we're coming on the tent and making it really relaxed, you come, you chat with us, you open an account, you get your loan. You don't have to do any of those things, meaning open an account, get your loan. Yes, we would like you to do that if that's what you wish to do. But some people just want to know who you are. What are you? I hear of you a lot. You know, this is a credit union. What's the difference? And so we need to talk to them, and so we're talking to them. The last time we did it right with the location behind. So there was a little, you can see the construction going on, so it put us there, and we did it live, and we had a lot of feedback on Facebook. So questions that you would find you won't normally get asked, then you get them asked when you sit in a more relaxed environment like that. And you don't want people to think either that you've grown away from them. We're not growing away from anybody. We're here for everybody, from the smallest to the oldest. Yeah, from the youngest to the oldest, and for all walks of life. So I kind of really want to make sure that I say that. So some people passed by and said, when is the next one? Because obviously they wanted to join. They may not have been ready at the time. Some people wanted a loan, and they just, a loan is not an easy thing to you just don't come and sit down and get a loan.
It's not a snap finger.
No. Well, you do have documents and so that you have to bring. So if you didn't walk with them and you didn't know that we were going to be there, what we did was we took the names and so on, and we followed up. So we followed through. And if for some reason you're listening and we didn't follow through with you, for some reason you didn't get a call, it may be that you missed the call, let us know. So that's what we did for our members and our prospective members. And so this is what we're doing basically. But we do have offers. We're not just going to pop up like that.
Yeah, a surprise is a holistic affair. When you pop up, it surprised me now. Yeah, I'm glad I see you, but what the pop-up means to me.
So you want me to tell you what the pop-up means to you, right?
Of course.
So for our existing customers, because of course you'll have existing customers who find it easier to do business in Grandance, and that's wonderful. That's fine. That's what suits you. It's what's convenient to you. So come along. You want a loan? Then here what? For the first 50, you're going to get $100 off onto your equity shares. Yeah?
You know, pause, right? Don't stop. Pause, I'll unpause you momentarily. But you know, in this dispensation, heading into Christmas, it is my intent, and I'm going to bring it up to management, that I would like to hear more of these sorts of conversations, because you know, Christmas is a big thing for Grenadians. People look for extra monies and so forth.
True.
And
That's
financial management.
Yes.
Because a lot of people get into business in December, and in January they have to eat sardines and rice.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want, yes, it's good to be disbursing loans and so forth, but we want to do it in a responsible way so that the people who get the loans are prepared for the life of the loan.
Yeah, but you're in it for the long haul after all.
Yeah.
So you have to understand, because at the end of the day, there's something called your disposable income.
Yeah.
Which, of course, if you don't have enough of, you can't function.
You can't stretch further.
Right? So we don't wish to put you in that situation. But stick a pin. I want to come back to that.
Yes, on pause.
Right?
On pause.
On pause.
Yes.
Okay, I like that.
Yes.
So for the brand new customers, now normally to join the credit union, you must purchase 10 shares at $20 per share. So that's $200. And you pay a one-off entrance fee of $20. That's $220. We're meeting you halfway for the first 50 customers. So you're going to pay $120 as opposed to $220.
Wow, that's remarkable in this day and age. $100.
Ariza is a remarkable financial institution, the most remarkable financial institution in Grenada.
Okay.
So you expect remarkable from remarkable.
I am tempted to believe that, you know. I am very much tempted to, when I make the comparison and so forth, but that's personal, you know.
Yes.
And you have some great people inside there. My good friend Rochelle, you know.
Well, when I saw you in there yesterday, I mean, you was in by us yesterday. You were smiling.
Well,
the smile on the face told me everything.
You sold me out. I did not tell my wife I was going to the business.
My apologies, but you're a good guy. That's okay. So, wifey, the truth is, I just saw him in the reception area, and he was wearing a wonderful smile.
Yes, well, of course.
So he's a happy husband.
Yeah. Let's get into this. You made some very salient points there. Two things: ease of doing business. I like that. And secondly, the significant importance of members. How important are your members to you?
Well, our members are everything. Remember, credit unionism, so being a member of Ariza, you own the company. You all have shares. You get dividends at the end of the day. You call the shots, because when we get to the AGM, hey, we can't pass a resolution unless the shareholders or to vote in favor of the resolution.
And that is something that is why I'm saying that we need to, as a matter of fact, I've been in discussion with Mr. Felix and Garfin to get some, I want the public to really understand the role of the credit union movement in Grenada, because we are seeing a trend that credit unions, where there are some restrictions and limitations as it relates to the clearinghouse effect and so forth, the issuing of checkbooks and so forth. That's one of the things that I hope Timothy, Antoine and them are listening the call, because it's about time. It's about time, because the traditional banks, the so-called indigenous banks and so forth, they are fading away, because what they're doing. And the I think that if the credit union movement does a good PR, a real thorough PR, the so-called big banks will just dissipate eventually.
You know, it's interesting that you would say that, because we have no hidden fees, and that is the truth. So there was this person who came in to me one time. I was down in member care, and she was complaining about the fact that she had $800 in a certain bank, and fees and fees and fees and fees, and the next thing she knew, she had no money. Okay, you have no hidden fees. In fact, you watch your money grow with Arisa. I always tell people, I'm not ashamed to say it, I'm just sorry I was not introduced to credit unionism earlier.
Yeah,
I would have had more. And that's the truth.
But I mean, where would you have put more? You have enough. All right. You have enough, Joes.
Try and behave yourself. Right. Try and behave yourself this morning. But I'm saying, because we have like our lifetime savings, and you do get a very good interest rate on that. You have your education savings for your children, and that's an excellent interest rate. In addition to which, it makes them qualify more easily for an education loan. Now, we have rolled out what we call the switch and own your own, right? So you know the own your own,
yeah.
Right? But you're switching now. So there's a massive offer for those who switch.
Switch from what to what?
So you're switching from the institution you're in now to Arisa.
That sounds like telecom, boy. Yes, switch from one platform to the next and
switch. Just switch.
Okay.
Your legal fees and what the concerns are usually. One big concern is the legal fees. Oh gosh, well, does it make sense? Because the legal fees are slashed in some cases by 50%. Your administrative fees, the loan fees, are also slashed in some cases by as much as 50%. In most cases, quite frankly. So that's what's advertised. The interest rate is down to 4.5 in some cases, right?
Okay.
So a lot of people will qualify for that for. Public servants are the heart of what we do, because obviously, remember, we started at the civil service credit union, public service. It was public service, and then of course we extended to our arms to embrace others, because they needed the service as well. So what if you were a dad and you're a public servant, but your child is in the private sector? And this is probably where the conversation started. So we embraced others. And now we're saying to the public servants, we have not forgotten you at all. We have not walked away from you. We have not grown so big that we have forgotten you. So how about 100% financing for public servants? That's real stuff.
That's actual at the moment, or is it?
It's actual.
Or it's in the
moment.
making.
No, it's happening now.
Okay.
And it's not part of the pop-up shop. It's available there, but it goes until February 2024.
I happened to be at one point. I was the training and education facilitator in the Department of Cooperatives. So
yes, you're big on cooperatives.
Yeah, so I know the inside out, and there are certain rules that govern the credit union movement, which one of them is the competitive nature of member credit unions operating. But what makes Arisa? What makes Arisa different is the innovations. You seem to have some very, very good innovators in your faucets, because the ideas that come forth, I mean, it's just mind-blowing.
Well, thank you. The truth is, I can speak for us in that, because coming from the member care area where I opened accounts, and it's not just about opening accounts, you're cross-selling, you're listening to your members. No, you must make the recommendations. You can't leave it sitting there. So a member comes in, they want to be a member, obviously, maybe they heard about the lifetime savings, something brought them in, but what's going to keep them? So you now have to listen to what they say, listen to what they don't say, probe, and at the end of the day, you make your recommendations. Not everything, we don't have the answer to everybody's situation. We have it to most.
But you'll tackle it.
I would say. But we will tackle it.
And see what's the best outcome.
What we can do. See how we can tailor our offerings so that everybody is taken care of. And this is probably where the idea of the flexi loan came from, which is always available. So that flexi loan, I think we started off at about 10,000. The seal was 10 or 15, increased to 15. It's now 25. And that's the loan that you top up on your own. So as fast as you pay, you're able to top up. As fast as you service your loan, you're able to top up.
So it's a sort of revolving fund.
Yes, but you see, when you look at it, you look at 2 years of a whole lot of changes. Changes materially, because we had people losing jobs and people cutting slashed salaries and in different sectors because you had a pandemic worldwide. I mean, it hit us all very hard. So you have to now stand back and say, okay, how can we now help our people to do better?
To bounce back.
It's about bouncing. It's about, because you need your status quo ante. So you need to be returned to where you were prior to this. And it's a little too about your pride, how you feel about yourself. Because you just don't need to be taken down a few notches, and then you can't seem to get back there. So
is this? Let me just ask this. You're tickling all my neural cells at the moment. Is this a vision of just a riser, or is it something that came across the credit union sphere?
Well, I can only speak to a riser. Okay. Quite frankly, we look, we listen, we analyze, and you must understand that you're dealing with people from all walks of life.
Who all came through a pandemic. And some people's ability to rebound
would be very different from others. Yeah. So the one thing to encourage somebody to do is not make the comparison. But you must, what we didn't want is that that you don't speak. So you're suffering, but you're not speaking. So maybe a salary isn't coming in, maybe half a salary is coming in, but you're not saying anything.
Or maybe the sector that you were involved in went dead.
And nothing is being said. But we also were proactive because we looked at the sectors that were most hard hit and reached out, opened the conversation so that you didn't have to just take the initiative on your own. So we did open that conversation. And so coming out of that, and people's general needs, then you realize, well, you have this sector to address, that sector to address, and you have to tailor your products as you go along. So it's not just, it can't be a one-size-fits-all. It doesn't work that way because your life is not mine.
Can't use the same paintbrush to paint all the walls.
No.
You have to cut some and
you really can't. Yeah. And so going into Grand Dance, I'm going to come back to, we know that people are busy. And so somebody will just pass by the pop-up shop. They may know that we're there from 11 and say, okay, I'm coming back to you at 1. Now, you could probably finish. We can start the process. You can probably come in to finish it in one of the other branches. But you will be listed as a Grand Dance member.
Okay.
And, of course, any member could do business anywhere. Because if you go to Carriacou, you're an Ariza member. This is a technology.
It's a village.
Yes, but I'm just saying that we're going to make it as easy for you as possible. If we're going live in Grand Dance, I will call you to make sure that you get that out as well so that they know we're going live. They can join us on Facebook and let us have the conversation. Talk to us. Tell us how you feel about the products and services. Tell us how you feel about the service. Whatever you feel, because we may not know, but we want to have the answer to your problem. We want to be the solution. So, going back to that promotion as well, that runs from August to February. Yeah. You're going to hear a lot more about it. It's going to be on Facebook, it's on radio, TV, it's mass media. And it caters to just about everyone, because you can get to the stage where, for some reason, suppose you had let's give a scenario. Suppose you had a child who was helping you because they were working, and that child is now taking off to school, which happens. One salary is now gone. So you may wish to refinance. What's your current offering? What's your interest rate at the moment? Can you live with that? But you may not be considered for what you're offering. In most cases, you won't. So, here comes the offer.
Wow. You make this thing so you give me a reason to live again.
Did I really?
Yes. But financially, I'm talking. And a fresh air of financial breath.
Well, finances. What would you do without money?
There's absolutely no. Somebody's trying to get something clarified. Is it okay if we take a call?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Yes. 2 questions. 1. Why does the credit union have to have shares? Why a person have to have shares to join the credit union? And 2. That is the most important thing.
Okay.
And what I observe is that if you go to the bank to open a savings account, you don't have to have shares. You go to whatever you have and you welcome. So why is the credit union having to, like she said, you have to have $200 plus $20 for enrollment for entrance fee? Why is that? How come the credit union, when it started, did not have this stipulation?
That's it, caller?
Yes, I want to know why.
All right, well, let me tell you. All right, I'm gonna delve back. Firstly, the credit union, the idea behind the credit union movement is the pooling of resources. All right, the modus operandi of the credit union is people helping people. So people pooling. That's how the whole credit union movement started. People pooling their resources together to make life easier among themselves. And as the credit union movement evolved, certain criteria and certain policies were developed to make it more structured and scientific. Hence the reason why they've come up. And what you see happening in Grenada is not just unique to Grenada. The credit union movement around the world, across the globe, adhere to the same policies. The rates might be different in different jurisdictions, but in terms of the policies, that's how it is. There are certain requirements, certain restrictions, certain legislations that were developed to ensure that it is run prudent and transparent.
Yes.
And accountable.
Because you see, credit unionism is about people helping people, as you rightly said. But at the end of the day, you really want that feeling of ownership. Now, with a bank, as he said, you go, you open an account.
You're just a customer.
You're a customer.
Yeah.
You're not a member. And you don't get dividends. Okay? But at the end of our fiscal year, when we declare a profit and we vote, we pay dividends. So I'm not sure if the caller understands the importance of membership.
It's an investment. It's really an investment.
It's an investment.
We're out of time, Josephine, but let me I'm giving you a challenge to take back. I would like to see a riser, if not the entire credit union movement, get on a drive to assist our populace with financial literacy.
And you're going to get that.
So we'll talk subsequently.
You can hold me to that.
Yeah, we'll talk subsequently.
But I just want to ensure that we remind people that the pop-up shop is next week, Thursday, at the Massa Lawn, where Massa and Sunsmile Dental are, right opposite Excel Plaza. You'll see the feather flags. You'll see the fine ladies and gentlemen. You'll see the tent. We're there to serve you.
Okay. Folks, that's it for the conversation. Thank you very much, my good friend Josephine.
Thank you, my dear.
And it's been a pleasure talking with you. Folks, I do hope that you take advantage of this. All right? The pop-up, it's next Thursday at...
from 11.
Right.
We'll be down on the Massa Lawn, right opposite Excel. We'll be there to serve you.
Thank you very much. That's the conversation this morning. We've got to end it here. Those of you who participated, listened, joined in any way, thank you very much for your participation, and we look forward to another engagement tomorrow. God bless. Bye-bye.